Okay, photographer, the first film I'm gonna share with you is probably the most popular one you will see on Instagram. It's Kodak Portra 400. This was the first film that I ever used and shot with, and I absolutely love it for portraits. This emulates skin tones beautifully. In my opinion, it's something that is pretty soft and neutral, where you're not gonna get any crazy saturation. It's not gonna lean too green or too magenta, though I think that it leans a little bit more on the magenta side, ever so slightly. On all these films, you're going to see that there is a number and it's in the hundreds. So in this case, it's 400, and that means ISO. That's the ISO it's set to. In my opinion, this ISO, the 400, is great for overcast and outdoors and natural lighting. You're probably not gonna get the best result if it comes to inside and you don't have a lot of windows indoors, but this is something that is a great basic kind of film to have in your kit. This film has always suited me. It's something that I bring with me on a lot of my travels because of how well it handles portraits. One of the biggest reasons why my friends and I really do love Portra 400 is because of the grain. Now, a step up from Portra 400 is my next suggestion, which is Portra 800. Portra 800 is actually my favorite film of all time. I tried it out in Copenhagen a few months ago for the first time. It has all the same elements of the film profile I love about Portra 400, just the ISO is even higher. It's 800. So if you notice, Portra 400, Portra 800 is the same kind of film profile, it's just a different ISO. This is even better for overcast lighting or even a little bit going into golden hour because of how high the ISO is. It allows you to have even more, just an extra bit of light into your photograph. You pick Portra because you like the film profile, and then you choose the ISO, the number next to it, 160, 400, 800, depending on the lighting that you're going to be shooting in. But Portra in general is a great start for you. It is a little bit more on the pricey side with film, but honestly, as is most of film photography in general. In New York City, Portra cost me $12 a roll. My third film suggestion for you, it's on the opposite side of the scale. It's cheap, it's fun, it's Fuji Color 200. To me, Fuji leans more on the green end of the scale. It's not as magenta, while Kodak Portra at least leans more magenta. This is gonna be a little bit more cool toned. In my opinion, it has great color tones, and the greens specifically with Fuji are going to be nice and vibrant. It has good skin tones, but they are more green than Portra is with magenta. This is a great vacation film because it's cheap. You can get a pack of 3 for about $10. Now the ISO is 200. Let's bring it back to basics though. Fuji Color 200. Have you ever seen something like this? The Fuji Flash little disposable point and shoot camera. This is essentially what's inside of here. The fourth and last film I'm going to share is something that is more of a middle ground price point wise. It's about $8 a roll, at least in New York City. It's Kodak Ektar 100. This film has high saturation, similar to that of the Fuji Pro 200, but in my opinion, it pulls more saturation from colors like red, purple, the blues are very beautiful, as well as green. In my opinion, it can make the skin look a tiny bit more orange. Let me put it like this. The colors, in my opinion, are more enriched. A great element to this film, besides the colors that it produces, is also the quality of the grain. It's very fine, it's very pretty. Now, the ISO of Ektar is 100, so it's gonna perform the best when you're outside in natural light with a bit of sun. I did a whole tutorial actually using Kodak Ektar 100 on my Contax G3, but I chose Ektar in that setting because we were shooting at a very beautiful villa in Bali. There was a pool that had turquoise water. My model was wearing a blue dress. The environment we were shooting at was very green and lush. There were a lot of red flowering trees and red details. So Kodak Ektar made sense to shoot with that landscape. You might want to go and try it the next time you're out and about somewhere with a lot of color. This would look very beautiful in a garden. So there you have it, different kinds of film to get you started with film photography. I hope that this video was informative, easy to understand, and that you feel educated and empowered to go out and to shoot. I teach to beginner photographers, and I want to make sure I'm explaining everything in a way that is bite-sized and easy to understand. So I hope that this video helped you out. If you have any other questions regarding film photography or photography in business in general, I have my Build and Bloom Photography Facebook group that I encourage each and every one of you to check out. It's a free community full of 60,000 kind, encouraging photographers who are there to help you with your questions, because I can only give my perspective on topics, but when you're able to ask the photography community and a community of people who are encouraging and empowering, just like the videos that I teach here on YouTube, you are able to get other insight and opinions when it comes to your question, your problem, your topic, whatever you need help on. I'll have Build and Bloom linked down below, as well as my online photography business workshop where I teach you from A to Z how to build a sustainable photography business right in your own backyard. It has blessed so many photographers all across the globe, and I can't wait for you to enter into the classroom. I believe in you and your business. That's why I'm here on YouTube teaching every single week for free from me to you. So be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when a new tutorial for your business comes out. And if you can't get enough here on YouTube, I also have my Instagram where I share daily tips, tools, and resources for your photography business. And I have so many resources. My recently launched Joy Ride podcast where I share how to build a better personal and professional life balance for creative entrepreneurs. You can listen to Joy Ride podcast on your preferred platform. And until next time, photographer, I will see you in my next video. Bye.